Hi students, I welcome you again to this interesting session of Habitat of the Living. This is session 6, and in today's session we are going to continue with the aquatic habitat, a type of aquatic habitat that is the coastal habitat. In the previous session we covered the topics of freshwater habitat and marine habitat, which are also the types of aquatic habitat. We know that the aquatic habitat comprises all the water bodies on the planet and mainly consists of freshwater habitat, marine habitat, and coastal habitat. So, let us now start with today's interesting session of the type of habitat. Yes, coastal habitat. So, what does it mean and what type of animal species and plant species are there which are found in this type of habitat? Let us have a look at it. Yes. First of all, we should know that what is coastal habitat. Yes, it refers to the region where the land meets the sea. These are considered to be the coastal regions. There are other regions too where salt water from the ocean mixes with the fresh water from rivers or streams, and they are popularly termed as estuaries. So basically, coastal habitat comprises of the regions known as estuaries, where salt water mixes with fresh water, and they also refer to the region where land meets the sea, and even swamps and wetlands. Which one? Swamps and wetlands. These are the large areas of water that are broken up by small islands of land and large amounts of plants. So these swamps and wetlands, marshes, bogs and fens are found all over the world, generally in more temperate regions where there is vast vegetation growth. So swamps can be found in fresh water also, brackish water and salt water environment also, and they have a large number of wildlife species that have specifically adapted to living in such conditions, in such habitat. So basically, swamps tend to be found in forested areas where trees such as mangrove trees are able to survive in the saltwater conditions and need lots of space for their roots. So there are many plants and animal species which are found here in the coastal habitat. Let us learn more about coastal habitat. Yes, these unique habitats provide shelter to several marine animals and birds, like this coastal ones and the estuaries, which are the regions where salt water mixes with fresh water. So these are the habitats, these are unique habitats which provide shelter to several marine animals and birds. And animals which are found here include crabs, oysters, waterfalls, and worms. This is the beautiful picture of oysters. You will be very amazed to know that they are used as food also. People eat it as food, and they are very delicious. There are plant species too, like mangroves, seaweeds, not the plant species but the plants. Mangroves, seaweeds and marsh grasses, they are some of the plants which are found in the coastal habitat. Like this is a picture of mangroves, mangrove plant, which have specialized type of roots known as breathing roots. Can you see in the picture? These are roots which come out of water and which are somewhat in water. And this is the beautiful picture of seaweed which are above the surface of water. And this is the beautiful picture of Sundarban Delta. The Sundarban Delta is spread across West Bengal and Bangladesh, is the largest mangrove forest in the world. Can you see here some of the breeding roots of mangrove plants? So basically, this is the largest mangrove forest in the world. You will be very amazed to know that mangrove swamps are one of the richest habitats in the world, as they are home to animals both above and below the surface of the water. So the enormous roots of mangrove trees act as shelter to small fish, reptiles and amphibians, and they also act as a method for animals to get in and out of the water. So there are many species of fish that can be found in mangrove forests, like this, the Sundarban Delta, which is spread across West Bengal and Bangladesh. So there are many species of fish that can be found in mangrove forests and nowhere else in the world. And there are many of the larger animals that inhabit these swamps, which form the mangrove forest in the world. So there are these type of plants which are found in the coastal habitat. There are other rock-like structures too, which are found in the coastal habitat. Let us have a look at it. Yes, coral reefs. Coral reefs are rock-like structures made from the skeletons of small ocean animals called corals. So this is a beautiful picture of corals and coral reefs. So coral reefs are made from skeletons of small ocean animals called corals. Coral reefs along our coastlines are the richest habitats on the planet, and they are home to countless animal species. Animals from all different groups includes invertebrates, reptiles, fish, etc. And they can all be commonly found inhabiting coral reef communities all around the world. So coral reefs are basically made up from corals, which itself is an animal that exists with other animals such as sponges. So these are the animals. The coral reefs are made up from coral, which itself is an animal that exists with other animals such as sponges and sea slugs or slugs. So there are two main types of coral reef habitat, which are the hard coral reefs and the soft coral reefs. The soft corals are individual animals which move through the waters and eventually settle themselves. And the hard corals are the reef-building corals and often consist of dead corals which have left the hard coral shells behind them when they die. So coral reefs are habitats that are so rich in life and biodiversity that many different animal species are able to live together, as there is no competition for food over here. Coral reefs are found in the world's tropical and subtropical coastal regions, where it is always warm and never cool, even at night. So the largest coral reefs can be found in the Caribbean and the southwest coast of Africa and all around Southeast Asia, Australasia, and throughout the coastal regions of the South Pacific Ocean. So we can say that numerous different animal species inhabit coral reefs around the world, and they vary tremendously in size, shape and color. And don't you think that there are only coral reefs which are found in the coastal habitat? No. Besides corals, sea anemones, starfish, octopuses, sea urchins, and a variety of fish are found in the coral reefs. Like this is the beautiful picture of sea anemone. Let us have a look at other pictures too. Yes, this is the beautiful picture of sea urchin. And this here, can you mark out? Here is a picture of starfish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is starfish, pentagonal shape. So, there are these animals besides corals which are found in the coral reefs. And you will be very amazed to know that the coastal habitat examples also include the Great Barrier Reef of Australia and those of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands in India. So these are the beautiful pictures. This is one of it is Great Barrier Reef of Australia, and this is a beautiful picture of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Let us have a look at more clear picture of coral reefs. Yes. This is a more beautiful and a clearer picture, a top view of Great Barrier Reef of Australia. How beautiful and how amazing it is, right? So these animals like starfish, sea urchins and other animals are the most commonly found invertebrates on coral reefs. Invertebrates means those animals which do not have a backbone. And there are countless species of fish also, including seahorses and eels, that can also be spotted with ease. So many species of sea snakes also live in coastal waters, particularly around Southeast Asia, hunting for small fishes and eels in the coral reefs. Other animals may not inhabit the coral reefs permanently, but will pay frequent visits to them in order to find food. Like sharks, they are most commonly found predators around coral reefs, as they either feed there while they are passing or visit on a regular basis. Not visit, we cannot say they are people that they visit, but they pass through these coral reefs. There are sea turtles that can be found around coral reefs as they hunt for food, but they do not permanently exist there because they spend their life swimming in the open ocean alone. So this is all about the coastal habitat, right? And these are the beautiful images of coastal habitat, which includes the swamps, wetlands, estuaries. Now, talking about swamps, many of the larger animals that inhabit swamps and wetlands have a fish-based diet. Like large crabs, they dwell in the saltwater swamps along with snapping turtles and even crocodiles and alligators. There are lizards and amphibians which live in and around the water's edge, and one species of snake has even adapted to eating fish. How amazing! Like in wetlands, large aquatic birds such as Estuaries and the heron stand in the shallower waters. What type of birds? Birds like iris and heron. They stand in the shallower waters, spearing fish with their long beaks. So swamps and wetlands are one of the most preferable places for numerous insects to lay their eggs, and they are home to water-loving babies such as dragonfly, nymphs, which spend the first part of their lives under the surface of water. Even frogs, they are often found inhabiting swamp and wetland areas primarily due to the abundance of food in the form of flies and other insects. But due to deforestation and pollution in both the air and the water, swamps and wetlands are becoming more and more threatened. Many animals that inhabit swamp and wetland habitats are specifically adapted to living in these environments, and they are vulnerable to toxins in the water and air. Not only the swamps and wetlands, but other regions also which form the coastal habitat they are also becoming threatened. Like the biggest threats to coral reefs, and coastline wildlife are pollution, storms, and commercial fishing. And there is one more type of fishing method that involves dragging the net across the seabed in order to get more fish. And that method is known as dredging. Remember this new term, students. This is new term for you. Dredging. It is a type of fishing method that involves dragging the net across the seabed in order to get more fish. And this method of fishing is extremely destructive to coral reefs, particularly when so many of them are filled with animal species that are already on brink of extinction, including many species of corals. So sea storms such as tsunami can also have a devastating effect on coral reef communities, as one large wave can tear apart a whole reef community in an instant. So swamps, wetlands, estuaries, and coral reefs, they all are becoming threatened, and the animal species and plants and the plant species, they are also becoming threatened because of these things, because of the pollution, storms, and commercial fishing. So we should take care of all these things. We should try, or we should think that how we can conserve it, how we can save these animal species and plant species which inhabit in the coastal regions. So that was all about our third type of aquatic habitat, the coastal habitat.